to play, has to put punches together, and he has to put some spite into the punches.
Johnson marching forward and looking now to unload big punches of his own.
Froch doesn't want to be taking too many of these body shots.
Seems to be a tactic which Johnson's trying to sustain. He was terrifically confident when we spoke to Johnson beforehand. He really did feel as though he knew what the weaknesses were of Carl Froch and that he had the ability to expose them. Well, Froch has had 2 big rounds, and Johnson, I'm sure, has been told by his corner that that's the case, and he's trying to go back to work here.
Froch is going to sleep a little bit in this round. We need to see more punches from him. We're heading towards the last minute. Johnson breathing with the mouth open at the moment. Don't know if that's significant, probably not.
Well, he's certainly explosive energy in this round. Johnson trying to claw his way back into it, sensing maybe that things were slipping away. It's lovely from Froch.
That's what you want to see Froch, having the last word in the exchanges, bringing the right hand again, putting punches together, shipped a few right hands in this round. Terrific round. This is probably the best round of the fight so far.
One thing we do know is that Carl Froch has got a terrific chin. Jermaine Taylor had him on the floor. But that apart, he's not been down, but that's a big punch from Johnson. Froch takes it, it landed flush, and here goes Johnson again. And a little smile from Froch saying, yeah, I'm still here, and I've taken the best you can land.
Froch did come back with a decent left hook of his own, but without doubt, this is the fight we expected. Really, it has warmed up.
Well, there you are. Certainly warming up. We're enjoying it here. Let's go back to London and hear how Darren Barker's enjoying this one. Darren?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a slow start from Cole, but he's really working into it now. I think that was a good round for Cole, the 6th round. I think Rob's given him the right instructions in the corner, just telling him to up the work rate, and he's done that the last few rounds, and you know, he's started to take control of the fight. I think it's important for him just to keep working throughout the rounds and don't let Johnson take charge.
That's the big right hands, Jim. That was a really solid shot there.
Yeah, but there's the left hook that Froch come back with, so that cancelled it out. Tough round, best round of the fight. I liked Froch's work.
You're doing good work, but you
a little bit more than Johnson. Johnson breathing throughout the round with the mouth open. Is he beginning to feel things, because he really has set a pace.
Well, into the second half of the fight now. Good round, that last one, Jim. Terrific action.
Yeah, well, they both laid it out. Both showed their intentions. That somebody wants really to take charge at the moment. They're both trying to do that. But I thought Froch's, the quality of his work in the 6th round gets it in my card.
2 real warriors, these two. And it's going to be a battle, you can guarantee. Good right hand from Johnson. Gives hope for his supporters.
The only worry, or the main worry, is the fact that Froch has been pushed onto the back foot so often. You know, the aggressor, it always looks to be Johnson. He's responding well when he's put under pressure, when he's forced to work. But in close rounds, we know, especially over this side of the pond, you know, the judges can be impressed by the aggression.
Johnson circling away, moving away from that danger right hand, and now choosing to trade with Johnson. There's the right hand again, and Froch is in a little bit of trouble on that far side, just has to blink.
I think Froch was troubled by that shot.
Johnson in there, senses it. Froch landed a solid right hand of his own, but Johnson right in his face.
Johnson again looking for the body. trying to take some of the steam and some of the strength out of Froch. Another terrific round we're getting here.
Well, it was a slow burner, wasn't it, for the first 2 or 3 rounds, but it's really catching fire now. Good body shot from both men.
This is the round at the minute that you want to do your best work in this kind of fight. Give the judges something to remember, and Froch is raising the pace.
Tribute to the fitness and conditioning of both men as these power shots go in. Both of them, their endurance is being tested and their ability to take a shot is being tested.
I mean, Froch is making quite a few technical mistakes. His boxing's a little bit loose, but he's digging in when he has to do.
Big overhand right again from Johnson. And Froch had to absorb another one. Fighters he's had the most problem with in the past have tended to be the movers, the slick movers. Johnson has not had that subtlety about his work, but he's giving Froch plenty of problems, and he thinks he won that round, Johnson. There's Rachel, Carl Froch's partner. A little bit worried about the number of punches man is having to take, and there's 2 or 3 really good solid right hands from Johnson.
Yeah, I think there was trouble with that. That's what worries me about the fight, that quite often the punches you remember at the end of the round did come from Johnson. Froch has been forced to respond, and you can see pushed onto the back foot again there. I think he's landing the better quality punches, but he's not looking like the boss. I'd like to see him look the boss a little bit more, come forward onto the front foot, meet this fellow head on. He's backing off a little bit too much. Landing the better quality shots is maybe not quite enough.
You know from the body language of Robert McCracken that they are concerned. That's how you got it, Jim. The scorecard 68 points to 66 in Carl Froch's favour.
Yeah,
but I think there's certainly an argument that that last round could have gone the other way because there were big shots from Johnson.
Yeah, that's the problem, and the work that you remember too often is Johnson's work, digging the body again. But look at the response from Froch. Having the last word, that is so important.
Well, he's been given the right attack by Robert McCracken, and this is how he's trying to respond. They know in that corner that Johnson is right in this fight. And he's not able to force him back, is he?
I think that punch was low. Yeah, it was just in the heads came a little bit close to it.
Right hand from Johnson over the top, and Froch just wants to hold on and buy a second or two.
Just a little bit troubled too. Froch is looking over to his corner a little bit too often. Keep your concentration on the man in front of you.
Robert McCracken, a few feet away from where we're sitting commentating, is bellowing instructions. Oh, he's walked into one.
He's leading with the right hand, which he can't do.
Terrific shot from Johnson. Great punch. And Froch has to hold on again. These are anxious times. How will he rally after absorbing another tremendous right hand?
As I said, he's making basic technical mistakes at times. Froch leading with the right hand, and he paid for that.
Well, he's hurt again by another big right from Johnson. Trench warfare now. He's really having to dig deep.
Yep, Froch is only producing when he's forced to produce. Johnson has initiative. Terrific left hooks from Johnson.
The two of them land solid shots. Johnson sucks in the air. He's feeling the pace, but he's landed the bigger punches in this round.
Yeah, the better punches. And he's got the last word in the exchanges, which is so important.
Well, what is it about these fights in which Carl Froch is involved? They never seem to be dull.
You just wish at times he would tighten up his boxing, tighten up his defence a little bit. He could block more punches. He wants to slip inside them, but he doesn't block enough. Defence is too wide. Both feeling the pace a little bit. This has been a tremendous round.
Oh, terrific work from Froch. Johnson made the big attack in the early stages, but now eye-catching work in the closing seconds of the round from the champion. What a terrific round this has been.
I tell you, it's developed into a tremendous battle.
Well, here's some of the terrific blows which were being landed in the early stages, predominantly by Johnson.
And the problem, we're not seeing Johnson's head been knocked back with the punches. Whenever anyone's head has been knocked back with the eye-catching punches, it seems to be Carl Froch. He is responding with good shots, but I thought Ted Johnson had the better of things for most of that round, and that's a round I scored for Johnson. And too often we're seeing this, Carl is the one who's backing off.
Well, that's the reaction to Glen Johnson's work at ringside by his nearest and dearest.
Let's go. Make sure you get that water up, please. Make sure you get that water up.
You've got a narrow advantage for Carl Froch. I can tell you there are others at ringside who now think that Glen Johnson is ahead and is capable of providing a huge upset. Glen Johnson, who didn't take up boxing till he was 20 years old, walked into a gym because he said he was a little fat lad, wanted to lose some weight, and after he'd been there for a month or two, they said, why don't you give boxing a go? Why don't you have a go at a few amateur fights? Well, here's the result. 22 years later, fighting again for a world title and giving a teak-tough champion such as Carl Froch all the problems that he needs.
Reaching with these punches a little bit here, Johnson. But still the one coming forward.
Froch trying to keep this at range.
That's those body shots that what I think Froch has been feeling those shots. There, the right hand from Johnson.
But didn't he take it well and responded with a right hand counter of his own, and back comes Froch. Lovely work.
But again, Froch is producing when he's forced to produce. I wish he would try to take charge a little bit more.
Well, he responded well, took a solid shot, and has bossed thereafter. Little complaint to the referee from Johnson about Froch hitting on the break. Good work from Froch after absorbing solid shots. Now the big right hand from Johnson. Going to work on the body again, Johnson. Oh, that's good, Jim.
I don't think there's the same method in Johnson's work at the moment. He's pushing himself forward, he's driving himself forward, but not the same method. I think Froch has found a little bit of control in his boxing, a bit more confidence. This is now he's initiating attacks. We want to see a little bit more than that. He's the fighting the 42-year-old. This is where he has to take charge. This is excellent work from Froch at the moment.
Carl Froch needed a big round and he's producing it. This is much, much better from Froch.
Yep, nothing like the same method from Johnson at the moment. He can only fight in little bursts now. Still